Hey everybody, what's going on? Kyle here with another lesson. Today we're going to be doing All I Can Think About Is You. This is both the studio version and the live version. The only live version we have at this point, at least when this video has been recorded. The live version I'm referring to is the one played in April 2017 in Tokyo. I will link that in the description below if you have not seen it or heard it. That way you know kind of what I'm talking about here. Like I said, the live version is a little bit different from the studio, so we're going to focus on the studio first, all the way up to the piano riff. And then from there we'll go back and do the live version, and then we'll finish off with the piano riff. So starting with the intro and the verse. Pretty simple actually, just a couple different chords. Left hand's going to be C and G. That's going to stay the same pretty much the entire time. Right hand's going to be C, D, F. Then you're going to move the C down to a B flat, play B flat, D, F. And then for the third and final chord, you're going to move the B flat and D down and play A, C, F. So adding that back in with the left hand, sounds like this. Now for that third chord, there is something different you can do in the left hand if you want to mix it up a little bit. You can play C and G, or you can play C and F, or you can play C, F, and G. I've played all three. All three sound pretty decent. I will say to you, this part I learned by sheet music and then kind of put my own little spin on it, changed it a little bit, so it may not be 100% accurate. So if you have something that you think sounds better or that you do, leave in the comments below so others can check it out for themselves. So those are the chords right there for the verse, intro, verse. Really simple for both studio and live. Coming up here for this little riff is where things start to change a little bit. So focus on the studio version first. Sounds like this. So all that is C, D, G, and then F, E, D, C, down to G, and then down to F. Then just go back into the chords. And then this is the last part, right before the first verse starts. He plays G and F. Let me go back into the chords again. And then this is after he says everything is upside down. The music kind of stops for a second. He plays C and D up here. And it comes back, so the whole world's on a flight path. That's the same all the way until the chorus. So chorus we have the first, All I Can Think About Is You. Goodbye. So right here he's gonna play, which is just F, E, D, C. Just playing it down here instead of up there. Repeat the same thing. But this time, before you do that riff, I think he just plays something like A, C, D, I believe. Something like that. Now you can hear it in the studio if you listen to it. And then we go back into the second verse. Chords are the same. Nothing really major there. So going back to the intro for the live version here. Intro does something a little bit different. So instead of stopping at F, it continues to go. So it's just F, goes back up to C, and then down to E, D, C. Then we get into the verse where he says, so this is right before he says, whole world's on a flight path. He kind of just does this sort of thing right here with just C, D, D twice. So you go in, finishing the verse and going into the first chorus. And this is immediately following the first, All I Can Think About Is You. So, think about is you. He does that little riff up here. But this time, instead of going, he does F and C twice. So F, C, then he comes down. Then after he plays that first chord, he hits G with the left hand. And for this part, I actually sometimes like to play C, D, G on the right hand, just to kind of have those two Gs going right there. So. This part he does F, E, D, C. You can even do octaves if you want. And then he goes. So all it is C, D, C, E, C, F. And then because to keep that kind of going up, I play C, D, G there instead of C, D, F. So. We're on to the second verse. Everything's kind of the same there, nothing really changes. And finally we arrive at the... So this part can get a little tricky. So first I'm going to show you the right hand, and then we'll go to the left hand afterwards. So right hand, pretty much a pattern. It's kind of similar to clocks where it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, kind of like that. But you're going to be playing two notes, and then the other two after that. So for example, the first part you play is C and G, and then F, E. So the pattern is just like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, like that. So if you play it without the C, it would just be, but you're playing that C with that note right there. Play that 5 times. That's the first one. And then you're going to move up and you're going to play D and B flat. And then move down to A and G. And go back down, you're going to play C and A. And then G, F. Back down to the first thing you played, C, G, F, and E. So that's that first section right there. It's pretty easy because you're starting low, and then you go higher, and then you go back down, and you end up exactly where you were. So that part one more time from the beginning. So now where it changes, you're going to play B flat, coming down here. Then you're going to play G, so B flat and G, and then F, E flat. And then B flat and F, and then E flat and D. And then back up to the C, G, F, and E. Same thing, but then play C, G, F, and E flat. So, going for the beginning. So I recommend practicing that with the right hand. A little tricky there. Left hand's pretty easy, it's just octaves. So C octaves, up to G octaves, down to F octaves, down to E octaves, E flat, then D, and then sheet music out here says B flat real briefly before A, and then A down to A flat, and then you just repeat. And then how you play that is, I believe, pretty sure you play those. The sheet music says you just play it once, like. But I'm pretty sure in the studio, or at least live, he's playing it like this. That's going to wrap this lesson up for today. Be sure to keep an eye out here on YouTube for my community posts. And you can also follow me on Twitter if you want, at ColdplayKB, just to stay up to date with upcoming lessons, or if you want to make song requests, any suggestions, comments, anything like that. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next lesson.